How are you feeling? Okay, you need to do this thing he's got here. You need to do this. It'll take 10 minutes, that's it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you need to do this. Do you see him walking?
Yeah.
Oh, this needs, I was supposed to get an operator last month.
Yeah.
I had to because my car was broke. I couldn't get to where I had to go. Then I couldn't go to the doctor because my car got broke. Either fuel pump or the filter.
Oh, wow.
That's all right. You're going to do this for 10 minutes, and then a little bit later you do 10 more minutes, and then that will help a little bit.
Right, and we'll do your knee.
Oh, this knee is just
No, don't.
gone.
Don't object.
I'm not going to inject.
Okay?
Not gone. Your leg is still on there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Well, see, life's been broke twice.
Oh, boy.
At the ankle. This one's been broke once.
That really means help, huh?
Do you want to use this?
You know, I don't think so because
Okay.
you can't really see it.
All right.
It's kind of...
I'm sorry. That's all right. Oh, yeah.
So I'll shut this off for now.
Yeah, my,
See where I can... Yeah, it'll help on your knee.
my knee hurt. I think when I worked at the one place, the cold really got to my back, too.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. It's brutal.
Okay, so let's see.
But you have to talk close.
Close to it, yeah.
Very
So
close.
I'm trying to figure out the best place to stand.
Anywhere you want to stand.
Yeah.
How about like right here at this end of this table?
Yeah, except these ladies.
That's all right.
You don't...
They're good.
Okay, all right.
They're listening.
We're listening.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Richard Hagan, and I'm an independent beamer distributor. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about beamer and what it is. And as you can tell, we have
Hey, thank you.
How you doing?
Okay, good, thank you.
and you're all welcome to come up and use it. We've got an 8-minute session, so it doesn't take that long. So first of all, the Beamer is a company out of Germany that's been around for over 20 years. And they have developed this bioelectrical magnetic device that I'm going to tell you about. But first of all,
Did you ever hear about this?
all you know,
I want to listen to it.
Okay.
realize that there's a real crisis in health now. There's about obesity is really high on the rise. Diabetes is really rising. And of course, cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in our country. Blood flow in hearts and artery issues. So blood flow is a major problem in our country. Also, according to this book called Our Daily Minutes, that talks about how much we actually pay for this. We pay more for medicines than do all the people in Japan, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina combined. Now those countries combined would be about 900 million people. We got about 350 million, and we pay far more than all of them combined. And according to the World Health Organization, we're like number 36 or 37th on the list of effectiveness. So we pay the most and we get the least. So the healthcare system is actually broken, and our health is often broken, so we don't eat right, many different things. The #1 cause leading the effect of that and cause of death is cardiovascular disease. In fact, the top 3 causes of death are heart disease, cardiovascular. #2 is cancer. And #3 is really scary. It's medical mistakes. So the pharmaceutical industry has its place, but the pharmaceutical industry is locked into 2 things: drugs and surgery. Sometimes you need surgery, sometimes you need a drug, but not as much as we get. So we need alternatives. Now here's a quote from that's very interesting about this. It says, we spend the first half of our lives compromising our health to gain wealth, and the second half of our lives spending our wealth to gain our health. That's like a modern problem, right? Well, that was by Voltaire.
For Joe Gale. Here?
He'll be here at noon.
Oh, cool, thanks.
I wrote it on the sign. Yeah, no, it's an hour and a half. He'll be here.
Thanks.
Oh, sure. Stop and sit down and listen. Okay, because this is awesome.
Check it out.
Okay.
You know, maybe low energy and kind of exhausted.
And are you into any like alternative things? Because this is what we're doing is a lot of that.
I'm with you, but I don't buy that.
Well, you know what? I teach it.
Yeah.
So, and when he's done his talk, let me just show you what's on the banners up there, and then you'll have something to think about. Okay.
Is the cause of the problem. And the main cause is each cell in our body has a low supply of oxygen, low nutrients, not getting enough nutrition, and disposal of waste products, CO2 and things like lactic acid and stuff like that, getting that out of our bodies. And it's also cardiac function. So this is all due to decreased blood flow as we get older, okay? So what do we do about this? Well, the basics of good health are that every cell in the body needs, it needs, already said some of this, nutrients. It needs the proper balance of nutrients. It needs oxygen, fresh air. We get that from fresh air and exercise. We get nutrients from what we eat and from how much water we drink. We all need more water. We have to get rid of the waste products that I mentioned, CO2, lactic acid, and all the other byproducts of each cell working. And we also need to fight disease, and that means we need a lot of white blood cells to locate and fight disease that we have. Those white blood cells move through the blood, and it's important for those white blood cells to get to where they can do their job. There are 100 trillion cells in our body. 100 trillion. I have to always look at that one because I want to put a B there and just say billion, but it's trillion. So there's tons of cells. Now, if you remember your biology class, we have arteries and we have veins. And in between the arteries, we have smaller arteries called arterioles. And then those arterioles go down into capillaries. And the capillaries are so tiny, you can fit hundreds of them into one hair. But they carry the blood to each cell in the body. And as we age, those capillaries are supposed to flex like this, because the heart does a fantastic job pumping the blood through the arteries and the bigger blood vessels, but those teeny tiny blood vessels, trying to jam that blood in there is hard. So the body is set up so that these capillaries flex. They pulse. It's called vasomotion. They pulse a little bit. When you're younger, they pulse about as much as 10 times a minute. As you get older, it's sometimes only once in 10 minutes. So therefore, your legs don't feel good. You don't have good circulation down there. You might, of course, if you have something like diabetes or something like that, that's really going to increase the problem. So what we're trying to do with the Beamer is get those capillaries to flex like they used to when they were younger, and get that blood moving. That's what the Beamer does in a nutshell. So we have that whole river of life that was our circulatory system is 74,000 miles of canals, basically, moving the blood through our body. 74,000 miles is, if you lay them end to end, that's how amazing it is. Oh shoot, I can't show you this video though. I have a video playing up here showing I don't know how good your eyes are, but so maybe come up and look at the table after we're done here. There's a video here showing the blood flow without the beamer, and then what happens after 2 minutes and after 8 minutes of using the beamer. So, please come up and look at that afterwards. You get a closer look at it. It's amazing. So in the future, here's another quote. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest the patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. That was Thomas Edison said that. So that's what we're all about. What if we could have a device that will help the general blood flow and the nutrition and the cardiac function, help you sleep better, because you sleep better when you're feeling comfortable and the blood's moving. Will help get rid of waste, helps with your physical fitness. Athletes love this thing. There's a ton of athletes that are using it. Bill Nicholson just came out and said he uses it. The Arizona Diamondbacks baseball team uses it. We have a list up here if anybody wants to come look at it in our little notebook. The National Football League Alumni Association endorsed it. We have an endorsement letter. And so a lot of the retired football players are using it. Well, a lot of the active ones are too, but they don't talk about it so much because they don't want the competition to get better, So anyway, so what is this beamer thing? I've already mentioned some of it. The beamer is not a car. It's an acronym, BEMER, and it means Bio Electromagnetic Energy Regulation. Okay, so it's an acronym that is broken down to that. In German, which is where it came from, it's come from Germany, it's BEMER. But over here, when we start calling it beamer, people think we're selling cars or something. Not in this crowd, but several people have had them or have used them. So that's kind of cool. But the beamer is it's made in Germany. It was been developed over a 25-year period, really, by the Berlin Institute of Microcirculation. Did the research on it, and there's a wealth of research. Which we can give you addresses where you can go look up and read your own double-blind study research. And the goal from the German government back in the 90s was to find something that would help people get over the pain and discomfort of aging that wasn't a chemical, it wasn't even an herbal, something that was non-invasive. And this is what they came up with, the beamer. It's based on pulse electromagnetic fields, but it's a patented signal. You'll hear of other PEMFs out there, but their signals are just standard, what happens when electricity goes through wire. This one, they pulsed it in a certain kind of way, so it can do 1,200 pulses per second. The other PEMF devices do about 300 pulses per second. They're actually stronger. Ours is more mild, but you get more of it. So it's the difference between someone pushing hard on you, and someone just gently, moving that blood through. Now maybe an athlete says, okay, push harder, but there's higher intensities on the box for the athletes. Marilyn's an athlete here. Basically, the way this works, it has a very gentle signal. The idea would be to use it 8 minutes in the morning and 8 minutes in the evening. So use it twice a day for 8 minutes. You can do more. And that will keep your blood flowing consistently. That's the goal. Now, if you can only do once a day, it's better than nothing. If you can do once every 2 days, it's better than nothing. But it builds up your body's ability to move that blood. So sometimes like I went backpacking the other week and I took the beamer with me, but I didn't have a good place to use it. And it didn't bother me. I was okay for a couple, 3 days, But if I go 4 or 5 days, I can really start feeling the ache in this hip particularly. And it's very simple to use, basically. You lay down on it and just turn it on. And I would recommend you meditate, you know, and do your breathing, you know. Think about nice thoughts. That's always good too. That's all part of it. So it's pretty simple to use that way. Yes, you have to learn what buttons to push when, you know, and under what conditions. So there is a learning curve, like in everything. But it's really simple to use. So anyway, the guy who's working on this, the scientist who's working on this is named Dr. Klott. And he's got like 3 doctorates. He's got a doctorate in medicine, a doctorate in physics, and a doctorate in mathematics. So he's like a super smart guy. And he's a scientist. He does research to make sure this works. So they do a lot of double-blind studies, you know, break up people into groups, some with the beamer, some without the beamer, and then they test their blood flow. So it's a lot of science behind it. A couple of little more things about it. There's over, I think I've already said this, there's over 1 million being used worldwide. They're in 4,000 hospitals and clinics, now mostly in Europe. Europe is much more open to this kind of stuff than we are. There's thousands of top-level athletes that use it. Some we suspect are, you know, a couple of older quarterbacks, maybe. You know, but we can't say that because they have not given us permission. There's 5 worldwide patents that they have on the signal, on the pad itself, because it's easy to roll up. There are other devices out there that you can't roll them up like you can with this one. And they got 2 more patents coming, I just heard. I don't know exactly what they're for, but they keep working on the signal. They keep tweaking it. This is the 3rd generation of it, and they keep tweaking that signal to make it be better and better. It's FDA registered, Class 1 device, which means it's safe for home use. It's partially Class 2, which means it's effective for muscles. But they kind of stopped working on it. It's too much paperwork, so they kind of stopped. They said, we're not even going to finish with that. And the other thing that's kind of neat is they have a collaboration with NASA to try to incorporate this into the spacesuits. Because when the astronauts go up into space, they lose contact with the magnetic pulses of the Earth. Yeah, I know, there's some different. But anyway, they lose contact with the pulses of the Earth. So this will help them come back with stronger bones and better muscles. So that's in the works right now. There's also a horse beamer that you can put on horses that has it woven into the fabric, like you might do in a spacesuit. So someday we hope they're going to give us clothing that has this stuff woven in it. You just walk around and get beamed. You know, that's what we're hoping for. So anyway, if you want more information on the science, you can go to pubmed.gov and type in beamer therapy, and you'll see a list of studies. Some on diabetes, some on multiple sclerosis. For some reason, there was a good number on multiple sclerosis, and some even on cancer. There's been some studies done. Okay. Now, let me warn you, though, if you type in the word beamer, you'll also get a Dr. Beamer, who's a dentist who seems to have done a lot of research too. But that's not it. You got to look in the title. And then you can also go to scholar.google.com and type in Beamer, and you'll get a whole lot more studies. Okay, so you want to do the research before you buy this thing. And the animals love it. My wife is a big animal person, so she puts cats on it and dogs on it. They seem to love it. And horses, she's done horses. We have a horse beamer too. It's like a big blanket that fits over the horse. Strong rumor has it that Justify used it last year. The trainer used one on Justify last year, and I got to say rumor. They haven't signed a
waiver.
I talked to somebody who works with the trainer and said, well, yeah, but we're not saying that because they don't want the competition using it, you know, kind of thing. So the horse beamer really is interesting because the horses don't have placebo effects. or, they can't be talked into it. And when you put it on a horse, I don't know that much about horses, but when we put one on a horse, and they start going like this, and one goes like this, and if you're a horse person, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
They start
Their lips are blah, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
they go like this, and they kind of relax, and so it's really good evidence that it's doing something. Okay, so basically that's a really quick rundown of some information about the Beamer. We have plenty more information up here, and more importantly, we have the Beamer that you can sit on. So if you're not doing anything, come on over and have a seat.
Yeah, good idea.
And we'll turn you on. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, please, questions.
Restless leg syndrome.
Yes. Restless leg syndrome.
Would that help? Does this
Uh,
help with restless legs?
well, I have to give you the company answer. The company answer is we don't cure anything.
Right.
Okay. The Beamer helps the body. Would more, better blood circulation help that?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Well, that's so I'm kind of giving you a round.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. It'll
Okay.
help. but we have to say that because we are not disease specific.
And is this like anybody can buy it, or do you sell to chiropractors, doctors?
Anybody can buy it.
Anybody can buy it.
I'm just a anybody. So yeah, anybody can buy it. You need to buy it through a distributor, like me or my cousin Winnie. But other than that, yeah, anybody can buy one. In fact, you should. If you're going to really, really use it, you almost have to own one because you're supposed to use it twice a day. And you almost have to buy one to do that. There are some people that I've heard of where they did an interesting thing. They had like a co-op. Somebody had like an open house. Open house meaning a house that they had a porch that was open that people could come in, and they put it out there, and everybody chipped in and bought this one Beamer, and then they'd go over to this person's house, in the morning, and they'd use it, and then the next person would come over and use it, and but you'd have to have a real interesting setup with people living close together.
A cul-de-sac.
A cul-de-sac. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Maybe a whole cul-de-sac, and somebody had a glassed-in porch or something.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to come in the house. You could go sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yes. Other questions? Yeah.
No, we're good. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for listening.
All right.
Please do. Come on down.
There you go. I'm going to move over here.
Yeah. Probably need to figure out how to turn off a bank of lights or something.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I don't know if I can do that.
I don't either. I don't know where the light switch is.
I think he touched these right here.
Oh, that might be.
That look perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
Actually, you need to curtain over the door.
I know. I saw that.
Okay.
Well, yes, but not yes. I'm sorry? Yes. So I don't know. What the heck?
What was her product?
I'm sorry?
What was her product?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Some people, maybe they think, but it's raining.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know.
Some people are sick, you know.
See, I don't like the light coming in the back because then it makes it look funny.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can't really do much about that. They're frosted, but still.
Yeah.
What about, oh, you can't block that exit.
I don't want it up here because if somebody comes up and speaks, then I want them to be able to. Because we expect Joe Gale to come.
This is the blood of one of my patients right at the time when he came to see me.
You can have that.
Thank you, darling. That's wonderful. Can't wait to try it.
Those are red blood cells. They're not supposed to be like that. That's right. That's why I was asking.
You know what? I moved over there, so if you want to scoot up a little, give yourself more room. You can do that.
Okay, thanks, yeah.
I liked your talk.
Did you?
Yes,
Okay.
it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you should do it again.
Okay, well, yeah, we can.
In an hour or something, sure.
Maybe, yeah, we can see.
If we have people.
Well, if you have different people here.
Oh, well. Yeah, but see, now we have a customer here or there, and they come in, and then
Right.
they miss it all.
Yeah, we just chatted with him a little.
My
Cool.
wife wanted to make sure we stay in contact.
Oh, yeah. Did you get?
I did, yeah, I have that. And,
Okay.
great, okay.
Yeah,
So
please.
Really enjoyed meeting you.
Yeah.
See, there was some benefit to coming here, wasn't there?
Knee injury.
So tell me how much is one of these?
Well, it is expensive for some people. I've said that to people, and sometimes they say, "Oh, you mean $10,000?" No.
I was on disability and I thought,
6,000?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's a 3-year warranty. If you break it down and you use it every day,
See, now a chiropractor could easily recoup that.
although
Yes.
I go to one and she already uses some other devices and spends more time with people than anybody else does.
Time is money.
She doesn't want to, but there's another chiropractor I know in Allentown, and he is selling them right and left.
Really?
People pay extra money to be on the beamer.
now see, here's some.
Because they know it works.
They know. Yeah, here's some kind of considerations with it.
And when it's coming from people with medical background like that,
If you think about what you're spending on healthcare, and if you're committed to that this thing, I'm going to do it twice a day, and that this thing's going to help me not pay medical bills, you know.
And it's not invasive, it's not a drug, and it's all that stuff, I know.
It's perfect. It's a little bit like exercising without exercise.
Tell me about, can it be put on the head
Yes.
for the brain?
Yes.
Increase blood flow.
Yep, I do it. You know what I'm using it
there's
for?
new things coming. There's something called transcranial,
Yeah.
something or I
That's
can't
what's
remember.
doing that transcranial.
And it has to
Yeah, you can do this.
Has to do with depression. And somebody else told me if you're an acupuncturist and you know even better, there's some spot back here where you put it on.
Well, what Beamer taught. See, we have a doctor we can contact too, a Beamer doctor, and with questions. But you know, one of the things they do, to your point, is say put it this way.
Yeah.
You know, because then you're getting the brain stem.
And they say also that the carotid arteries are sometimes they get constricted, and then that reduces blood flow.
Yeah, so you could. Well, this doesn't. It's a little thick because see if you feel
but there's
this,
a spot here,
you can
and you
feel
can
the
use
coils.
this.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
use it every morning because I'm working on I got like gum problems because I don't even have that many teeth, and so I got to make sure I always floss. And so every morning I do this and put it, well, I actually go like this.
Yeah, I think maybe you need one of those horse blankets and just put it over your whole body.
I think so. Yeah, you just wear it all day long. Yeah, yeah. They are really cool, the
I
horse
actually
blankets.
met a man who is a distributor, and he was a test pilot for.
Oh, isn't that great?
Anyway, he came down with macular degeneration, and he experimented
On your
with it.
eyes
And guess what?
helped.
His eyes got better, and he said to the eye doctor,
And this is what
"Have you
makes me
ever-
so
have you ever
angry.
seen this happen?"
I am so angry at this, at our government, because they allow or control who has more power. And the government allows pharmaceuticals more than anything else. They have chased out all the cancer cures to Tijuana. And this is my revenge, is doing something like this. And I didn't mind doing any of this. I wish more people would come because this is my revenge, is telling the truth. Now, I did your thing. I would like you to listen to my spiel.
Okay. We're not going
Maybe I should do that. I should go over to there and just do my spiel. And then people can hear. I'm putting this up. This is
Depends on how badly
a,
you need the slides.
I don't need the slides at all.
Yeah, because I would prefer the slides, but
But you can hook yours up to
well,
mine
like
if you
I
want.
said, it's so far up there.
This is just, it's for goji juice, which
Oh,
I don't
yeah, that's
care
good.
about goji juice, but I cared about the photography that he shows in there about sticky blood cells.
Yeah,
And yeah, so that's definitely, it's a principle.
Right.
Now, how do you get them to be free and unsticky? There's a lot of different ways to do that, not just goji.
Even this one.
Yeah.
But that's not specifically. This is to get
Yeah.
it moving. But once you get it moving,
Yeah.
it's not sticky.
Yeah.
The beauty
Well-
of this is that so many people can use it and have different problems in their body, and it's going to help. It's going to help assist.
Okay.
And whatever.
Yeah, so you can use it on any part of your body. The only thing they say on the head is we do something called, there's a plus signal where it jumps up to 10, for 5 little beeps, on the rest of your body. But you shouldn't do that on your head. But you can do
Yeah, especially if you have a wet sponge there first.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
So what was that, the green line? Or
Yeah,
green
yeah,
line,
yes.
Green mile or something. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Now, the other contraindication is people on immunotherapy. And they're not even convinced it does anything wrong, but they don't want to take chances with it. So.
Well, and the other one you always say, what you say with breakfast cereal is if you're pregnant. Because so much can go wrong with pregnancy, and then they can blame it on whatever.
Yeah.
But
And then as soon as the baby comes out that's healthy, they inject them with all these toxins.
yeah.
And the problem with protocol is they don't have one. We're not allowed to say anything about how to use it for anything in particular. But I think once you get one and you connect with other people who have them, my thing is to start keeping a diary.
Yeah.
So and so.
Because you don't realize it. Maybe you get better slowly and you don't realize, and then you forget the pain you were in. I will tell you this.
Yeah.
As soon as I got off of there, I had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Because I had it right across here, and I had a bowel movement in there. So it
Did
did
you
get
have
things
trouble with
moving. No,
Oh, okay.
but I had to do it right away. So
Yeah.
I knew something happened.
Yeah. Well, in fact, this is colon. This is from the colon. This blood shot.
Okay.
It's not of the colon. It's
Yeah,
the
but it's the blood
cells
in that
by
area.
The colon. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I often have to. Same with me.
Yeah. Strict your the ones. It got a little loose there, so tighten that up.
All right.
Okay, I think what we're going to do next is have one of these two tables talk and just tell us a little bit more about what they do. And So you can introduce yourself and just talk about your product and what you do, and then we'll go on to someone else. How's that? And make sure you talk directly into it, like, and have it close.
She's the presenter.
Have it close to your, yeah.
On the street.
And jump up and down. Yes, I know. He volunteered to do that. There, I pull your coat down.
I'm not worried about it. Let's just keep me warm. This doesn't bother me. It's this that bothers me.
Somebody came to see Joe Gale, and I said, well, he'll be here at 12 o'clock. So one person will come back at 12, that's for sure. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, there's nothing you can do. Unfortunately.
Did you sit down there on that thing?
Yeah, that's not what bothers me. It's my face. I have a neurological thing. I have trigeminal neuralgia. That won't help that.
How do you know?
It will not help that. Pain pills don't help.
Ask him.
No, I'm not doing it. I got information for a friend who has, her mother has MS. I got the information for her. Might help her. Not that I don't believe in it, I just don't want to bother because sometimes...
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, but sometimes some things aggravate
Make it
this
worse?
and make it worse, and I am not chancing it. My eye doctor would like to get some of this extra skin here.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
A lot of
I
people
can't
do.
chance it. I can't chance it because it could put me into such pain. Apparently it's the anesthetic is local. I'm not allowed to have Novocaine anymore because that's what triggered. I was in 7 weeks of sheer agonizing hell.
Wow.
This, what I have, is referred to as a suicide disease. It gets that bad.
There's these little tape things you can put on your eyelids, and when you open it up, it pulls it up.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I can still see.
Yeah, I know you can see, but it would open it up a little bit.
My eyelashes are holding it up. I can see. That's what I tell them.
Isn't this a crazy idea? Did you ever hear of this before?
Never.
It's crazy. But you know what? Did you know that the horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go? And look, we have a formula for curvature. If there really is a sphere, there has to be a curvature formula.
Why would they bother that?
Why would they do this and tell us there's a globe? Because it eliminates our real Earth, which is a flat with a curved dome over it. And it actually is true. I teach this. I go out.
Who cares? That's what I mean.
Because this was created, and there are different things that go along with that creation. Now, who created it? That's your decision to make. Okay?
Yeah, so...
Okay, but I know that this was a created realm that we live in, and there are physics to it. There's free electricity flowing around up there. The government knows all this, and they keep it from us on purpose. So we pay for the electricity. We don't take advantage of the health benefits. We don't understand where we're living. See? So there's a lot to it, more than just them having control of everything. See? But this is true because look, you have a compass, and the compass always points north. This is the flat Earth map. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. All these world organizations use, here's the United Nations, they use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. They don't want you to know it goes around the outside edge. But the government puts out all these things like, oh, you're going to fall off the edge. No, you won't, because Antarctica is there all the way around. So there's a lot to this. There's Chicago 60 miles away. We shouldn't be able to see it, because it should be down below the curve. It's not. It's right there. We zoomed in on it now. So there's things we don't even think about, and yet they're doing this. They censor books in school. Here's 10 things on this brochure that you can think about, and then there's the websites. Go to the website. I'm on the website, and just think about it. All the kids know about it because it's all over the internet.
Kids know everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Two easily found ideas
You're welcome.
that you can use to protect the head and the face. The first one that I have my favorite toy is called
that where you meet there, you're going to find lung 7. This is a very master point. It's a very important point. This point will affect your throat, and this point will affect your breathing. So if you wanted to begin meditation, before you meditate, it would be good to hold this point. You don't have to push on it, you don't have to press, you don't have to turn. Just touch it, and you'll feel your breathing becoming deeper, coming all the way down to where the channel begins, which is down in the tantien, just below your knee. You can do the other side, just match the webs. Take your index finger and where it lands on the stylus, the bone there, that's lung 7, and it's a master point for your throat, any throat problem. If you're coughing, it will benefit, relax your cough. If you were using a needle, if you put it one way, it will affect your urinary bladder, but you're not using a needle, so it's most likely going to affect your throat. And the other point,
Good job.
very close, almost the same, will be large intestine, and it's in the web. It's easy. You take the web of one hand and place your thumb right in the middle of the web. Spread your fingers, and this is a very famous point. Most people know this. It's called large intestine 4, and it relieves headaches in the frontal part of your head. We discriminate between a frontal headache, temporal headache, occipital headache. This one is for basically a frontal headache. And this channel goes all the way up to the nose, so it's going to affect swelling in the face, it's going to affect your nose, it's going to affect your breathing through your nose. It's very good for this area. This channel runs from the finger up to the face. The lung channel runs from the chest down to the fingers. Lung is yin, large intestine is yang. They have different effects, but they're very close together, and it's important which point you choose to touch, which point you choose to put a needle in, which point you choose to cuff, which point you choose to put electricity on. They are not equal. You can't go out and stub your toe and say, oh, I did acupuncture. Because any little injury, acupuncture is a little injury, and it provokes your brain to respond. And that response is an immune response. That response is an emotional response. It's on many layers. That's general, normal Chinese acupuncture. The thing I've become interested in this year, the last 2 years, because as I said, it's continuous learning, is German auricular acupuncture. The Germans, as we know, study a lot, and they get very fascinated with details. And they use a point finder, which is electricity, and they use a microsystem in your ear, which is every point on your body can be found on your ear. You can find the Koreans do every point in your body they find on your hand. Reflexologists use the feet. They massage your feet. Every point on the body is on your feet, so it's like a hologram. But the Germans are doing this ear acupuncture with electricity, and then they're now switching to lasers, because lasers are even less intrusive. You can use electricity, you can use needles, and you can use magnets, you can use seeds, but whatever it is, you have to be careful to choose the correct point to affect the correct, the effect that you want, part of the body that you want to affect. Well, this is not going to work unless we take this off. It's true. Okay. Let's see if we can find one.
I'm her practice dummy.
You're a very good one. I hear that.
If you find a sound, this is a measuring electricity that's coming out of the point. Electricity should not be coming out of the point. That means that's a point that needs to be treated.
Oh.
It's a weak point. There's no resistance there. So you only treat points that